this is Sean SMP Life. I just wanted to say hey to fam and friends and thank you for showing up, my lifers. We just wanted to get into water today. That will be our topic. We'll go over some key uses, and that will be very important to us going forward, as well as key facts that I'll be just throwing out there at you just so you get a better idea of how important water is to us. The main reason why I started on this quest about water was the fact of it's really essential that we have the best water, cleanest water, purest water that we can find in order for our bodies to be able to restore themselves and stay hydrated, and bodily functions working properly in order for us to be able to live our ideal life. And it has a lot to do with our nutrition. There are a lot of plants that contain water within them that we get a lot of our water from. So we're going to just kind of do a brief overview of some of the things that I find to be important points about water, and then over the period of the next 2 weeks or so we'll go more in detail, and it'll be an ongoing research project, information gathering and dissemination to you guys, so that we can really understand the importance that water has in our life and the big effect that it has on our athletic and exercise and weight goals. So they all really kind of, coincide and come together to make a whole, puzzle, so to speak. So I really want you guys to really stay tuned and follow through with us. Like I said, this will be a basic overview of some of the things I find important about water. So we're just going to do the top 10 ways in which I think we use water the most, and then we'll go from that to some fun facts to know about water, and then we'll go from there. So to no further ado, let's get it cracking. Okay, so the first thing that we use water for, that is the most important thing, is for drinking and rehydrating our physical bodies. So to me, that's the most important thing, because without water we cannot survive very long in the condition that we would be in. So that would have to be my number one, and that also will stem more into our talks about conservation and the world water supply, and how we can get people who don't have clean water those resources. So we're not rich by no means, but I feel that between you lifers and us, if we all link together, even if we do a small part, it ends up being a bigger piece of the puzzle. And our whole goal here at the SMP Life is really to educate and then to give back to our community and our fellow humans, just because that's how we are, and that's how we believe everybody should be. And of course everybody's not, but sometimes we just don't know where to start. And so this is going to be a good place to. Down below we will begin to drop references and resources that you can possibly start engaging in and making an extreme difference in other people's lives. So that's also a goal of this water project. So to no further ado, back to our list of the most important things that I think in my opinion, and probably Paula's opinion too, as we've been talking about this and discussing this topic and its importance. The second most important thing, I think, is that we use it for hygiene, cleaning our bodies, making sure that we can get rid of as many germs as we possibly can, while also creating an environment that are healthy bacteria and different things that coincide with us, that cohabitate our body, that keeps us healthy, can stay such. And so, number 2 on the list, hygiene. Okay, going forward, number 3, we use it in our food preparation. How much water do we rinse off our vegetables and our meats, and that we actually use over in our soups and our stews, and just so many different applications in cooking. It's probably innumerable, very hard to put a solid number on. So that is very important, because that's how we nourish ourselves and how we maintain a healthy status. Once again, food preparation. We definitely need it for that. It's also within that food preparation is how we get some of our water, our daily supply of water, that we're daily intake, that we're supposed to have. So that is 1 through 3, and we will continue on with number 4, and we use it with the growth of our food in such thing as agricultural growth, as well as livestock. We have to, and every living thing on this earth needs water. So that includes our food supply. If they don't have water, they die out, we die out. It's just that simple. If we don't have the water for irrigation to give to the plants so that they can grow, we can't be even vegetarian without it. I mean, yeah, we could go forage out into the forest, but really, us humans now are very far removed from actually going to the source to get our food. We like going to the grocery store. So, so really, to be honest, we have to really take in consideration how we use our water in order to be able to sustain our future growth of fruits and vegetables, and also livestock, cattle, just lamb, sheep, goat, pigs, you name it. They all, turkeys, they all use water. They all have that water in order to sustain themselves. So once again, that's why it's higher up on the list. All of these probably could flip-flop and change places on the list at any time based on our needs and whatnot. But and again, this is my opinion. They're not in any particular order. Just running through, giving you a good idea of 10 ways in which we use water, so that you can kind of start getting in your mind how important water is to us, and how we have an effect on our water supply, and how we use it, and how we protect it. So next way we use water, would be that's Coke Zero. And that's not a plug, just letting you know I'm still on my stuff. No sugar, no calories. The next thing that I find that's very important that we use water for is like thermoelectric stuff and hydroelectric stuff. Basically how we get our electricity in order to be able to light up and run all this fabulous electronic equipment that we have. We use a lot of water to generate that. Prime example, Nikola Tesla's Niagara Falls generators. They use water power to help turn the turbines that he created, the AC current that he created. So I mean, and when you really think about it, every dam in the country probably uses pretty much the same type of technology and control of the water and flow of the water to generate the electricity that we use. So in that case, everything that you get up to in the morning, your coffee, you turn on the coffee maker, you talk about things like ironing our clothes for work so that we're presentable. You need that electricity. It's probably generated by water at some point. And so, once again, leads back to water. Also, such things as mining, which also brings us fossil fuels and things of that nature that also will have a profound effect if we don't have water. Look at who we see.
Hey everybody, it's Paula from the S&P Life. Hope everybody is well.
She kind of feeling a little sick.
I'm a little bit under the weather, but keeping on, doing my thing.
Look at her, she's looking good. She picked up a little bit of weight. Still on that Brookings.
Still on that Brookings
program. And so it's working. We're getting there slowly but surely. But pop it in, check in on us.
Hope y'all have a blessed day. Much love.
All in all, we want to have fun. We want to interact with you guys. We want to give you information that is right on point, that helps you make certain decisions within your life that maybe you hadn't thought about making, or that was in the back of your mind, that we can bring to the forefront of your mind and make you more conscious of a lot of things we do automatically. Automatically. Get tired tongue sometimes. But automatically, and we just go through the motions and not really understand the profound effect that we have on each other. And we are trying to bring a lot of those things to light so that, we all can coexist and have a really, really wonderful life. And, we start out with ourselves and trying to make ourselves just better than we were the day before and to reach our goals. My 100-pound weight challenge to myself that I put out there to you guys, that you guys hold me accountable to. Paula's weight gain, where she wanted to gain a little bit of poundage, and now she's getting ready to start cutting phase, because she's already reached pretty much the weight that she wanted to be at. So she's reached part of her goal, and now she has to keep plugging, and the hard work begins. The really, really hard work begins now to really hone in and tone, and me keep cutting down and start as well, really honing in and tone. And hopefully, we get the feeling better, and we can get into the gym and really intensify our workout just a bit more, and kind of gradually get into hyper intensity and just drop and shed the weight and be the people that we want to be. And that's here with our fam, our lifers, like you. Hit the subscribe button below, hit the bell beside it, ding ding, so that you can get all of our content right on time. Back to what we were talking about. We were on number 6, which is mining for other nutrients, other elements, other resources. Mining takes up a tremendous amount of water in its process, and we continue to do it the old-fashioned way. So until we make some changes there, and we end up also making our water unclean by mining. So it's kind of like a dual-edged sword. We get the resources from the mining that we wouldn't otherwise have, that allows us to advance on and do things within our civilization, but at the same time we're not being helpful to Mother Earth, and we're dumping bad stuff back on to her, and causing her to have a hard time to naturally do what she does, and that's heal herself and replenish herself. So we want to get with legislation and see how we can support those people that have that in mind and are on the same wavelength as us, as wanting to make the planet live as long as we possibly can. And also in doing so, we probably extend our life expectancy. Who knows, but it's worth a try. So back on point, number 7, industrial projects, different companies, those Nikes you wear, yes, indeed. Those, I don't know, coffee that we get, the frozen food that we got buying bags at the grocery store, you name it, just about every product that's made at some point in time uses the resource of water. So the more that we make and create, the more that we'll use water. So therefore we have to come up with plans of action that are going to be beneficial to the earth as well as ourselves. So okay, folks, yes, as I was saying, in industrial things like the products that we have, it helps make all kind of goods. You name it, water really has an effect on it. And even if it's just the workers that are working to do the work, they need water to drink in order to be able to do the work. So it's just water is in everything. It's just like the biggest rabbit hole that you can get down in. And I don't understand why we would want to keep others from having something that is so necessary for survival, while we wouldn't do everything that we possibly could to help try to figure out ways to get others that are without with. That really concerns me, and I'll tell you a little bit more why in a minute. Another thing is that we use it for waste disposal. We use it to flush waste away from us in our cities. And unlike the olden days where you had to trough down the middle of the city and it smelled like shit all over the place. And that's just how we were accustomed to living. And it was all kind of diseases that, carried by animals and things of that nature that we don't have to deal with anymore. And it's all because we're able to use water. But we have to be able to use water for things like waste in a very conscious and earth-friendly and human-friendly or any organism-friendly way. There is a way out there. We just choose as a whole not to consciously sit down and just throw ideas out and try them until we find one. I know it costs a lot of money, but there are a lot of things that were done, i.e. the pyramids, etc., that cost lots and lots. But look at what we gain from them now, and that legacy was left at all costs, not in spite of the cost we don't do. We just have to strive to be the best that we can be at this time, and that's caring for one another. And we can start with water. So, I'm going to wrap it back around to, what this site is really about. But this is also the other side of the things that we do for the S&P life, that we try to concern ourselves with. And hopefully the products that we represent and that we find are giving back. If they're using, they're at least giving back enough to help out the cause of keeping our water supply, at least recycled as best we can and used as efficiently as possible. So waste disposal, we use it to get rid of all our crap that we don't want. We don't want it to settle in there. We just want to flush away the natural things that naturally would get reabsorbed by the earth. We're not talking plastics and that sort of thing. Those things just have no business in water. But that's a whole nother subject that we'll talk about. But really, it does have an effect. We want clean drinking grade water. Another thing that we use water for, which if you're counting should be number 9, is we use it for our transportation system. It's a transportation system. How we get products from China here is by boat. That's really the only way, and that's how a lot of our diversity happened, was through the water system, through taking boats and watercrafts across these vast amounts of water until we hit other land and discovered other people that were here occupying this living rock. And we forever, as long as in our recent history, have done that, and it's brought us to momentous gains in humankind, and we want that to continue to be as such. If we contaminate our water, then we can't use it for transporting goods, because we got junk in it, and that junk can be big things: plastic bottles, boats that have been hit by hurricanes and just been washed out to sea. We have to take ownership and kind of clean that up wherever possible. I like having clean drinking water. I like turning my faucet on and there's water, but in doing that, there is also a responsibility, which we'll talk about here briefly. But our number 10 thing that I would say is that we use it for livelihoods. There's recreational boats that carry people to places that they really enjoy for vacation, but you forget about the workers and the captain and everybody that takes care of the boat. That's their livelihood, and without that water and being able to travel with that vessel, then they don't have that opportunity. You go to other jobs, such as if I was to be a fisherman and the water was contaminated, then it's contaminating the fish or the seafood that I could gain from the sea that I would have been doing anyway. It's been as far back in major books: Sumerians, the Bible, Quran. I mean, it's just the Torah. So many other books that we have mentioned of fish, and where there's fish, there's fishermen. As long as there's humankind, because they're a good source of food for us. And so are a lot of the other creatures that dwell in the seas and in the rivers and the lakes and the streams and the ponds. It just trickles all the way down. And if we take that food source away from us, where will we be? That we already are struggling to feed everyone, and you take fish, gotcha, away from the sea and these tributaries. You don't know how many people it will affect. So we have to be very conscious of that. So there are 2 other things under livelihood. You can also use professional sports. There are skiers, there's surfers, there's divers, there's so many triathletes, long distance swimmers, et cetera, that are in the water, around the water, use water, rowers, sailors, it's just so many. And they make their livelihood as well. And they also bring us, my next kind of area, recreation. They kind of mingle in together with sports because a lot of times, sports are recreational to us. So exercise and our physical body, which is back to like things that we like to do here at the S&P Life, staying with the being physically fit, and to the Brooke Ince program. We swim at times, and we like ocean water, and just like everybody else, and we like it to be clean. So you have those things that can be affected by our water conservation and really recycling and safety. The really nitty gritty of the importance of water. So, hitting those to wrap that up. The reason why we want to talk about this is because we really want to find the best water out there and use it to hydrate our bodies for exercise purposes and for better health. But we also want to do it conscientiously, and we also want to see the whole picture of the product that we're using in most cases, so that we can make really informed decisions, and we can inform you of our opinion of those decisions and why we made them. We also can have stand firm in that, hopefully through our investigations and studies and researching, that we will find and pare down to companies that really fit our idea of what it means to try to live sustainably and with a small footprint. So even in our exercise endeavors and our normal everyday life, we want to be as conscientious about Mother Earth and about our other co-beings on this planet, and really want to give back. So we will be looking for charities to support on water conservation and water safety, water knowledge, education wise, to be more specific. Experiencing water in maybe recreational settings, just understanding more about the element of water and what it means to us as a whole in our well-being and our health. So in that, we also will be, like I said, doing reviews of water that we actually intake and drink, just because we want the best for our bodies. So we'll be bringing those reviews to you as well. So water is actually going to be a series, and it will be ongoing, and every time we get new information, we will drop it on here for you, and we hope you all like the content. So to wrap this up, I'm going to run through a couple cool facts that I found, and just leave it with you to ponder and really maybe inspire you to go out and learn a little bit more about water on your own, and join us again for our other water commentary, as well as other series that we have started, like whey protein, etc., etc. Because all of these are to go together to make a cohesive wealth of knowledge that you can better take care of yourself and become the person that you want to be. I don't know what level you strive. I strive to be the athlete that I used to be, and hopefully better. Even at the age of 44, I think it's possible. And so that's what I'm striving for. I'm still ultra competitive, so I don't want that to go to waste. And I love the release of exercising. But I want to have the right products and supplements and water and whatever else that we ingest to be the best we can, and we want to help you find that same thing. So we will be bringing a lot of these little series to you guys, and for you to have as resources, and I hope that you enjoy. So to no ado, real fast, some quick water facts, and I'm going to probably use my list so I can go a little faster so I don't hold you guys up. I know your time is precious, and I am so appreciative that you have chosen to spend some of it with me and Paula of the S&P Life here. So thank you. Thank you, thank you, thank you. And keep coming back. Hopefully we're getting better. So the first fact is our bodies contain 70% water, meaning that we really are water creatures. I mean, it doesn't seem like it. The densities, et cetera, are different, and it causes us to be able to realize a different type of body, but it's pretty much water, 70%. That leaves only 30% of solid mass, which probably, 25% of that is probably bone, so that doesn't leave very much. So you want to have the best quality water for your body in order to sustain that water level and to have it be of consistent quality. So next thing is a person can drink up to 3 gallons of water a day, but it is recommended that we only have about a half a gallon, 2 liters of water, which equals out to about 8 gallons per day, is sufficient for us to be adequately hydrated. And I'm sure this is on a median, meaning that if you're absolutely doing nothing, you probably need eight cups. But if you're doing extensive, intensive exercise, you're going to have to up that amount probably a good bit in order to maintain the appropriate level for you to be well. So keep that in mind when you're exercising. Okay, so the next thing is most people probably don't know that you can actually drink too much water, and which that is called water intoxication. And what water intoxication happens is that you dilute the sodium in your bloodstream, and this causes an imbalance in your brain of the sodium actual water level. So those things can be deadly and can cause all kind of bad things to happen. So also watch that you're not drinking too much water too fast. It's pretty much usually, from my understanding, how it happens. So you want to drink slowly, and you want to drink probably room temperature water when you're doing so, right while you're exercising or doing it right after your exercise. So also another cool fact is pure water, solely hydrogen and oxygen, only has no pH 2. It has a pH of 7, which makes it neutral, so it has no acidity. And has no alkaline in it, and that makes it a neutral, which means that it is a pH of 7. Okay, next cool thing about it is that water can dissolve just about any thing that it can come in contact with. It's very little that it can not dissolve either right away or over time. And out of all the liquids that we know of, it dissolves the most. Water also carries chemicals, minerals, and nutrients everywhere it goes. It also, on the flip side of that, within it, water itself has no nutrient value whatsoever. It has no vitamins, no minerals, no nothing in its purest form. Another cool thing is that the surface of the earth is covered by 70 to 75% water. More of the water is stored in ice in the poles, but again, 70 to 75% water. So this is just like a water world, and we don't even recognize it, which makes it really, really a neat thing to be able to witness. Also, it's known that the Earth's water supply has stayed at the same levels for millions of years now, and that a lot of the water that we get is just regenerated from millions and millions of years in the past. So that's another cool fact. Also, there is about 326 million cubic miles of water on the earth. That's 326 million. That's million cubic miles of water. That's a lot of water, folks. The average person in the U.S. uses 80 to about 100 gallons of water a day, which I think that, we really can look at how we live our lives and probably could trim that in half if we really, really tried. That is one of the goals that earlier I was telling you I was going to allude to, that how we could possibly work on individually doing small things that link up to make bigger impacts. If every one of you, links with me with trying to use 50% less water, you hear Bailey agreeing with us, less water per day, then imagine we could take that water and give to the people that don't have any water. Okay, so another fun fact that gets back around full circle back to our exercising and staying in shape and drinking water and fluids that have water within them while we exercise is that by the time you are feeling thirsty, you have already depleted your water supply by 1%. So please, people, while you exercise and during your day, stay hydrated. So to that end, I'm going to wrap it up, and we will get back with you with some more water facts soon. And this is Sean at the S&P Life. I want you guys to really be conscious at how we are using our resources so that we can conserve things like water, and it will benefit you as well as me and the whole wide planet. And that is really the goal that here at the S&P Life we really want to achieve and stand by. We want to be able to help out in as many ways as we possibly can, as far as different projects, different charity events, charity funding that we might look into doing here shortly, which we are. So we really want to make a big impact on how we live our lives and the impact that we leave on our planet, and what we leave to our friends and our family and the people to come after us. We have to be very conscious of ourselves, and we're trying to do that here at the S&P Life. And we just want to bring you guys along with us and enjoy the journey, because we will be giving back to the earth, and nothing's better than giving back. So from me to you, thanks a lot for hanging in, and hope to see you on the next one. from, again, Sean at the S&P Life. Deuces. Hugs. Peace out.